This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. Damn it. We were doing a thing.
Wow.
What's funny is I don't think this thing actually... Hi, everybody. Trying to get Brian to spit his drink out. It almost worked. He was so close.
I would have had pomelo out the nose.
And do you usually have that light bulb on behind you? No, I like it. Oh. It makes it feel more like we're in a studio.
We're in a studio. Welcome to professional
studio.
How do we
harness this? How do we harness this?
What?
Over
the microphones?
No, over the internet. Oh. This is good.
I don't think it's bad over the internet.
I think we're...
it's just harder.
We have to start the Zoom call 3 hours before... And just bullshit. And
we got to have brunch.
Yeah.
I got to start a nice cozy
make
fire.
A skillet for us. Yeah.
I got to make us a breakfast scramble and then start the fire. Have some like San Pellegrinos.
San Pellegrino.
Kiss passionately for a couple hours and
just
then
like we just
press
did.
Record.
Yeah. This is Jump on the Bat-Wagon. where we kiss passionately for 2 hours, whatever you said. Was it 3 hours? I don't know.
I think just 2.
I'm James, and I'm here to show my friend Brian. He breathed in to say, and I'm Brian. The entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial, some might say, airdate order. That's the order they aired on TV.
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Brian. So he may view these shows the way human beings experience them in the far gone days.
Oh, me? Is that my line?
Of the...
Is that? Do you want me to say that part?
1990s. You were supposed to say, and I'm Brian.
I already said it.
We recommend you watch today's DCAU episode before listening to this podcast to get the full experience out of our discussion.
And I'm Brian.
There you go. At the time of this recording, 12:53 p.m., Batman the Animated Series. I was like, what am I doing? Is available to stream on HBO Max, and it's on DVD and Blu-ray. And please, if you send in mail and leave a comment, do not spoil anything past this episode for Brian.
Or else.
Or we'll murder you.
Well, what?
This is a real death threat.
No.
Legally binding.
No.
We'll be mad. We'll be mad.
So mad.
So mad that we might murder you.
No.
Today, we're watching Batman the Animated Series episode Bane. Which you correctly, easily guessed was about Bane.
Yeah. Do you want me to like?
What's the plot? What's he doing? What's Bane up to?
It's Bane's origin story.
2 for 2. What's the? Well, kind of. What is he doing? What's he gonna do?
Turn into Bane and then upset Batman somehow.
Yeah. All right.
3 for 3.
Roll.
Oh my God! If I get 4, we get to make out.
Oh. There's precursors. There's determining factors to this. We don't just make out anyway.
Oh, I mean, again.
Yeah. Let me scroll down the things I can tell you what's the stuff about Bane. This is the 75th episode produced and the 71st to air.
That checks out.
The btas Season 3 premiere. We are now officially The Adventures of Batman and Robin. We'll have a new theme song.
Oh, no. Wait, the song changes?
Yeah.
I thought just the intro changed, like the video.
Both.
So we no longer...
But the funny
lyrics...
secret is that you've been listening to this theme song on the menu of the DVDs the entire time.
Oh, really?
Every time that we turn it on, it's making sounds. The
wow, I guess I just really like blocked
You just
that
integrated it into.
Yeah.
It's just that's menu. That's stock music. It's not literally the Batman theme song.
But there's not going to be any more. He's on.
Well, so that's what I was having Jessica email me right before this was the full lyrics to the Batman the Animated Series.
Oh
theme
no!
song.
Wait, are you going to release that?
I'm gonna sing it. Not now, but after we watch the episode, I'll do a little bonus segment. We'll play the music. I'll sing the lyrics.
So just a warning to the listener: if you don't want to listen the whole way through, there's going to be dick jokes.
Is there? No. These are the lyrics that I made up when I was like 9.
Oh, not the ones that you sing now.
No. Well, I sing some of them now, but no, we don't go like "suck on my penis" or whatever we say now, because we're adults. We say funny jokes like that. But anyway, this was written by Mitch Bryan, the episode Bane. They're about to watch.
I'm sorry, Mitch whom?
Mitch Bryan.
Mitch
He spells
whom?
it correctly. He previously the writer on Pav and On Leather Wings, 2 of the best episodes.
God damn it.
Directed by Kevin Altieri, music by Lolita Ritmanis, your favorite, and animation by Dong Yang.
Your favorite.
Everyone's favorite, Dong Yang.
Dong Yang!
Dong Yang! Boom, dong, 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 dong. And we watch Bane. Here we go. Yeah?
3, 2, 1. Let's watch Bane.
Oh, 3.
That's Croc. Somebody's helping us out. Somebody tough. He could be a crime fighter, you know? Somebody trying to be like us, trying to help us clean up Gotham. What do you think, Batman? Do you... What?
I think you're right about one thing, Robin. Whoever did this was tough. This was done with bare hands.
Something in the Bane voice.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like that.
Yes, he does. Well, not in this episode. What does he say in this? If I were a common sniper, you wouldn't have made it to the phone or something.
He said something like that. I don't know. I don't want to do that the whole time, so I'm not gonna.
Good. Because it wouldn't be right.
No.
either.
We watched Bane.
We watched Bane.
It's time for how do I phrase this? It's time to...
Synyop.
That works.
If you're wondering, Synyop. What you just watched, Synyop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
What happened in Bane, Brain?
Well, Rupert Murdoch hires Carmen Sandiego to hire Mucho Luchador
Yes.
or something.
I was like, you made a face of like, do we cut that? It was a do we cut that face.
My Spanish is absolutely miserable, but we're just going to roll with that.
Carmen Sandiego.
Michael Jackson Diego
Yes.
hires
Carmen Sandy Jackson.
Bane. You say Carmen Sandy
Carmen
Jackson?
Sandy Jackson. Sandy Jackson.
Michael That's too straightforward. I'm sorry.
Michael Sandy Jackson. Keep going.
Okay. This homeboy, big boy Bane is going to come and he's going to mess up Batman's day and Robin's day. Mm-hmm. And
Take Robin's shirt off.
He's gonna do some BDSM stuff with Robin.
You won't know what to do when I chain his sidekick up and take his clothes off. Then I will have him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just keep going.
It's the synopsis.
Okay.
It's in your own words.
It's sometimes kind of
From
long.
the soul.
Okay.
Bane. That's pretty much the whole thing. Bane.
Bane beats Killer Croc, gets out. He's gonna mess stuff up,
yeah.
and then Bane's like, "Not on my watch, he's mine."
That's how Bane talks.
That's how he talks. And Killer Croc is like, no, he's not.
I thought you were doing a Bane voice.
Killer Croc gets his butt beat up and his
He
limbs
should have tried
broken.
to throw a rock at Bane.
He should have thrown a rock at him.
He would have messed him up.
And Killer Croc ends up in the
I
hospital.
threw a
'cause
scaffolding at it. It was a rubber scaffolding.
There's a lot of rubber.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
rubber
rubberized metal.
in this
Yeah.
episode, yeah.
Holy shit. That like I know they were doing like a flash forward. They're doing like a WWF thing.
Yeah,
With the throwing
boat,
Batman
yeah.
against the like guardrail, whatever that thingy is. But it just like absolutely is. Like they rotoscoped
Candace
somebody.
shouted, "Give him the chair!"
Well, I mean, you should do her voice. Give him the chair.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
You're really bad
That
at
is what
impressions.
Michael Jackson sounds like. Yeah.
So anyway, Bane's doing a good Batman stalking thing. He steals
Might be what
Robin.
Michael Jackson sounds like now. As
Now that he's a
skeleton
zombie.
man.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
see
How decomposed do you think Michael Jackson is at this very moment?
34%. No, more than that. He died like 14 years ago.
Has it been that long?
2009.
How do you know what year
Also,
he died?
that's not 14, but it's close to whatever.
Oh my god.
10,
That is 14.
11, 12. It is 14. I assume I get it wrong because math no good, but I got it right.
It's a really good guess.
And it's almost exactly because he died in like Memorial Day.
How do you know this?
Because I was at a drum corps camp when he died, and everyone found out at the same time at like a meal break.
Wow. So this was like everybody else's 9/11
Where
story.
were you when Michael
Like,
Jackson died? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Where were you when Robin said, "Come in here, come in here, sweetheart. Come in here, sweetheart." She takes her shoes off and goes, "Okay." And
We're gonna
jumps in.
jump in a pool half naked
And then
together and pull each other's hair.
She's miraculously, well, maybe not so miraculous. She's way better fighter than Robin, I guess. They surface and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have asked. I'm getting my ass kicked."
He like judo flips like the 1,200-pound
Yeah,
Bane,
yeah.
but then like this like
After he took
100-pound
his cassette tape out.
honey or whatever he calls her,
Yeah,
like is like
Sweetie Pie.
ruining his day. Sweetie Pie, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
how's
where
the
am I in
episode
this
end?
synopsis?
Yeah, I don't know. We're on the boat. There's water.
Yeah. Okay. So
Batman shoots Bane into the water with a XL grappling hook.
I kind of assumed it was like an anchor thing. Maybe it was made for like boarding ships because it's a pirate ship or something.
I
don't
think
know.
Bane like threw him into a bunch of crates, and
Yes.
then one of the crates was marked with some word I couldn't read fast enough, and then it looked like a small UFO, tiny baby UFO, and then Batman picked it up, and then he turned toward camera and shot a big hook out, and it was enough force to push Bane off the boat into the water with just that.
Nice. Keep
Thank
going.
you. And then Robin said, "Hey, sweetie pie, come in here." She took her shoes off, got on wiki feet, and they fought in the water. And then Batman beat... Bane was going to break Batman.
Yeah, he was gonna wrestling move him.
You keep going from here.
Okay. He was gonna break Batman over his leg.
Batman said,
And
"No,
then
thank you,"
Batman
or
said,
whatever.
I'm gonna poke your wristwatch, which
Yeah.
makes your brain go woo.
That was a good sequence, though.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah. And
horrifying.
then it got like it did get horror for a minute. It was
Yeah.
like that bit where it flashed to a red bat. We can talk
Yeah.
about this later.
And keen effects.
Yeah. That was just a horrifying sequence. But yeah, Batman like over adrenalines or whatever, Bane.
Pumped him.
And then he like basically almost dies, and then Batman pulls the plug and he doesn't die, and then he drops him at Rupert Murdoch's office and says, Carmen Jackson-Nego is not who you think he is. Sorry, I should do it in the Batman voice.
Carmen. Yeah,
Carmen Batman Diego is not who you think
Michael
it is.
Jackson.
No, that's Batman's voice.
Oh.
Everybody else sounds like this. The end.
Yeah, and then he says Seymour just as Batman's leaving.
Yeah, as an absolute Superintendent Chalmers, Principal Skinner. moment.
Oh, no, I said...
Carmen Sandiago!
I said steamed. I don't know what the equivalent is here. Steamed contracts with steamed killer contracts. I don't know.
No, you're fired.
You know, these Bane juices taste exactly like the ones from Krusty Burger. Okay. You want to hear the real synopsis? The official
Not as much
synopsis?
anymore.
No, but I'll read it to you anyway.
Okay.
Batman comes face to face with his most powerful adversary yet, the chemically charged assassin Bane. Originally hired by Rupert Thorne to kill Batman.
That was a weird typo.
Weird. Bane plans on taking control of Thorne's criminal empire once Batman is destroyed. It's a fight to the death with all of Gotham in the balance. Really? As Batman takes on the man who has vowed to break the bat.
Okay, it is definitely not all of Gotham.
No.
Gotham is not. This is just about
Most
ruining
of
Batman.
the 10 million populace are not related to this.
They are where they should be.
I guess
packed chest to back in
in
shoulder
their
to shoulder.
studio apartments. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Bane took over Rupert Murdoch's spot job, maybe I guess he would be more diabolical.
What's he gonna do?
He's the same
hitman
now, except there's a luchador in the chair instead.
I would disagree. Like he's a hired hitman, escaped prisoner dude. He didn't seem to have the same like I'm gonna take over the world savvy that Rupert Thorne does.
Oh, it's a good save. You got it. You saved
it. Okay, guys, I'm just kidding. I know his name is Rupert Thorne. Murdoch.
And it's Carmen Sandiago Jackson.
Yeah. Her name is Cleopatra something.
Prince.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like he has the same mindset to like take over all of Gotham. He's just like
that was his thing in like the comics at the time, at least.
Taking over Gotham?
It's usually his thing. Yeah, it's like he's usually portrayed as a lot smarter than this. Like in this, he's just like, I'm strong. And he's kind of got some cunning to him or whatever.
Yeah, like his idea of like, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to learn everything. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's a good move.
Yeah. But usually he's like, plotting to, like in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's like, I'll put a bomb in the place. You haven't seen it. That's okay. It's probably the worst of the three, to be honest. That's my opinion. It's fine if you don't agree. You're wrong. But, I don't know. This is fine. It was good.
I liked it.
Yeah. What was your favorite part? That's a new segment we're doing. What's your favorite part?
Oh, really?
I don't know. We did that once recently.
My favorite part, honestly, the
pumping.
That was just like, it was a really like truly like horrifying moment.
My brain, my eyeballs are bursting out of my head so hard that my mask like spectacle pieces popped out.
Yeah. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We can talk about Kane. Do you want to talk about your favorite part?
My favorite part was when Robin had his shirt off.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
That checks
sick. My favorite part was Robin taking a tiny cassette tape out of Walkman. Yeah. He had like a radar, like satellite dish on a gun that he was pointing across the street.
That's a thing.
It is a thing, but I just thought it was funny that they're like, how do we show that he's recording from a distance? And then he just records to a cassette tape. Like, I don't know. It felt dated, I guess, is what I'm saying. I don't know how you do it now, but any differently.
Probably to flash media, I'm guessing.
But would you still use the same, like, radar shotgun mic gun?
Last I knew, they were even using those, like, in the NFL still.
Okay.
To, like, record the, like, up close and personal sounds. But yeah, it's like a, I can't think of the name of it, but it's like a shotgun mic with a purposely, dish. Like, very specifically angled, sound dish that enhances.
Yeah.
It's the enhance button in a spy film, but for sound.
Zoom and enhance the sound.
Yeah.
Art was good in this, I guess. It was one of those, it's Dong Yang, it doesn't look bad kind of goods.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a decent amount of trim, so I could just jump into the cast, and that'll probably give us a discussion points.
Let's have a disgusting.
Who do you think voiced Batman in this episode?
Calvin Conrad.
Calvin Conrad. Who you got as Robin? Do you even remember the guy's actual name?
I would.
Starts with an L. Leroy Jenkins.
Lauren Lester.
Yeah.
I mean, Morin messed up.
Leroy Jenkins. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Oh, sorry. I didn't
Alfred.
Aaron Kincaid as. It's a repeating one. It's been the voice every time.
Aaron Kincaid. I don't have it. It's probably Rupert Thorne.
It's Killer Croc.
Killer Croc. That's what I said.
Joe Lala as Dickie the Thug.
I could have guessed that one.
Do you think Dickie the Thug was Big Tooth safe cracking man? I don't
No,
I don't
he
think
didn't
he said
speak.
anything. No, he didn't say anything.
He couldn't.
What did you call him? Teethy Johnson or something like that?
I have no idea.
So, it's Toothy McJohnson or something. I can't remember.
I'm sure it was funny at the time.
It was funny at the time. Joe Lala has voiced a bunch of minor roles across animation throughout the 90s and 2000s, including 3 characters, Miller, Soldier, and Policeman on... Hey, Arnold.
The Jetsons. Oh.
Yeah, I was going to try to do something, man. He'll be back as other minor DCAU characters. I wish I could remember who Dickie the Thug was.
Joe Lala.
We got Mac the Knife. We got Dickie the Thug. Diane Michelle as Candace. Henry Silva as Bane. He played a character named
Silva.
Kane in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Influence in Dick Tracy 1990 movie. He's one of the weird-faced bad guys in the Dick Tracy movie.
Okay.
And General Garland in a movie called Virus in 1980. And I only included... he wasn't in a lot of...
General garbage
stuff. I only included Virus because it was one of the movies that we watched in our terrible movie gift exchange a few Christmases ago.
Oh.
And it's about like a worldwide virus.
Pandemic?
Yeah, pandemic. And, but like when I was trying to look up actors who were in that movie as we were watching it, like, oh, what's this guy? And I kind of recognize him. IMDb, like I couldn't find the movie. And I should have written it down,
right.
but it was like named like 6 different things because it had been re-edited for different countries multiple times and different scenes added in. So like there's this whole plot in Japan going on and a whole plot in America going on, and they never interact because the America plot was filmed like completely just for the American version of the movie. And it's a weird fucking movie.
That sounds right on, like very, very reminiscent of Day of the Triffids.
Yeah.
Which I watched recently and adore. It's so bad.
It's been a while. I can't remember.
The lighthouse scenes were all added afterwards because like the movie wasn't long enough. And the BBC was like, no, we need like 20 more minutes. So they just added all the lighthouse scenes.
And they're not connected to the rest of the movie.
Like that. I mean, that could have like... it could have solved the plot like basically from the beginning, but instead they just made it about like an alcoholic duo. Or an alcoholic guy and his girl who's just kind of dealing with it.
They just inserted the movie Lighthouse every other scene.
I guess so. Still haven't seen that either.
And then neither have I, actually. Best picture or something. I haven't seen it. John Vernon as Rupert Thorne. That's the last guy.
Okay.
Trivs. When Batman watches the film explaining the origin of Bane, a misspelling can be seen in the Spanish title shown as Proyecto Gilgamesh. The should be with a Y. Proyecto Gilgamesh.
Oh.
Not Projecto. When Robin is staked out on the building across the street to spy on Bane and Thorne, he has surveillance equipment with him. As Bane charges at Robin, the equipment is still there. However, a moment later, as the two begin to fight, the equipment has suddenly vanished.
That checks out.
Yeah. I also noticed, so Robin is spying on Rupert Thorne's office, which you would think in a building called like Thorne Enterprises or something, which that's a whole nother thing of like, oh, I wonder where crime lord Rupert Thorne's at, probably in the building with his name on it. You would think his office is probably like the top floor.
Penthouse.
Yeah, like the very top of the building, and it looks like a pretty tall building.
He's just like floor 5.
Yeah, he must be, because Robin's up there on the roof of an across the street building. When he and Bane start fighting, Robin slides down like 5 feet of roof, and then he jumps to the ground. And I'm like, what? What happened?
It's a shape-shifting building.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he lowered the building on like a crank real quick. Bane's mouth doesn't move when he starts to inflate and yells, "Help me." But I think I can excuse that one because a lot of shit was going on in that moment, like all of his body parts are like changing size. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
As Croc waits for Batman in the sewers, the water only goes up to his feet. However, when Bane confronts him seconds later, the water goes up past his waist.
Didn't notice that.
He threw up in the water, it got a lot higher. The car that Candace uses to pick Bane up was previously used as Two-Face's transportation in Two-Face Part 2. The cars have the same make, model, color, and even license plate 7079. Which I don't know what that stands for, but there it is.
No idea.
Candice stole Two-Face's car. She should be Mr. Freeze's henchman next with a name with ice in it. I mean, Iceman.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry. When Alfred hands Bruce the paper with Thorne's name on it, the text underneath is taken from Chapter 3 of Joseph Shepard's realistic figure drawing. It's just text from a how to draw book.
I saw male and female, and I was like, wait, what is this? And then
it went too fast. Was that the same newspaper as the headline was just Rupert Thorne?
Yes. Maybe.
Sir, front page, Rupert Thorne. And that's it. No, that's good.
Imagine being so infamous that the headline can literally just be your name.
Yeah. Ah, shit. Not again. Rupert Thorne from Thorne Enterprises. The one and only. Bane's appearance seems to be modeled after the Lucha Libre Mexican wrestlers. These wrestlers never appear without their masks, and it's considered a great dishonor to take their mask. This gives an added layer of meaning to the threat to remove Batman's mask and Robin's, not allowing Candace to take Robin's mask, and Batman actually removing Bane's mask in the end. According to writer Mitch Bryan, when Bruce Timm pitched the episode to him, that's your name, Mitch Bryan.
Oh, yeah. Bitch
Bryan. He said, that's you. He said to play up the Mexican wrestler idea. Running with the idea, Mitch added the idea of having
the idea.
I know it's a little weird. Thanks, Maddie. I think Maddie wrote this one. Batman and Bane bouncing off the railing of the ship they fight on to emulate the rope in a wrestling ring. Yeah.
It was just too literal.
Yeah. It's like it would be chains or metal that would not bend or something. Like
springs.
Yeah, it was like an elastic rope.
Expected the boing kind of effect.
I'm surprised it might have made that sound. Something made a boing sound in this episode. And I'm trying to remember what it was.
Where's that boing sound?
New segment. This episode marks the first animated appearance of Bane. Bane first appeared in Batman Vengeance of Bane, a 2-issue miniseries in 1993. He was most notable at the time, and perhaps now, for that year's later Batman Nightfall, in which Bane famously breaks Batman's back and declares himself ruler of Gotham City. Are you familiar with this comic?
Nope.
It was a very famous cover of Bane just snapping Batman over his knee. It was in Safeway when I was a kid. You could get this comic. But yeah, it's a infamous DC story or whatever.
Oh.
The producers originally didn't like Bane because they felt he was a gimmick character, like they weren't bringing him in the show on purpose.
What? All the bad guys are gimmick characters.
So in this episode, as Bane attempts to break Batman, he's easily defeated. Writer Mitch Bryan stated on Batman the Animated Podcast that this episode was a reaction to disliking Bane breaking Batman's back in the comics. There was no real enthusiasm for that on my end or Bruce's end, as I remember the situation. Bruce Timm previously stated in Comic Scene Magazine number 54 the episode was done under duress.
Oh, what?
Almost like you got to make a Bane episode. He's big or something, and they just did this. And but I don't like this character. I think he's stupid.
Really? Yeah. I think he's a unique villain. Other than, he's kind of like the Killer Croc MO.
I think he has potential. I think he's I don't know. It's hard for me to have an unbiased opinion when that comic came out, then this episode within the next year, and meanwhile I'm 3 years old, so I've just known Bane as just as big and notable a Batman villain as any of the rest of them. So I never see him as I'm not ancient, so I didn't grow up with oh, look at all these great Batman. What are you trying to do? Bring big Mexican wrestler guy into this thing? What the hell are you doing? That can't possibly be a new villain.
It's just a strange take. Wonder why they're so opposed.
Last thing I got, other references to the Nightfall comic where he breaks Batman's back include Bane's easy defeat of Croc, which happened shortly before Nightfall, Croc telling Batman that Bane will snap him in two, and Bane's abduction of Robin. Some of Bane's dialogue from his fight with Batman in Nightfall is also used in this episode, particularly his line, "You've got nothing, beg for mercy, scream my name!"
Yeah, that sounded a little out of place.
Yeah,
to be
it
honest.
was. Yeah, I knew some line in there was from Nightfall, and I was kind of listening. Like I couldn't remember which one it was from what I wrote.
And you
down.
heard that, and you're like, "There it is."
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess like you can't really adapt because the Nightfall thing was a whole like Death of Superman style thing, which you're familiar enough with from the Max Landis video, where like Batman's back gets broken, then he's out of commission for like months, and other people are taking over as Batman or trying to or whatever. And I don't think you could really do that with this show. Like, it's not serialized in that way where like if someone came back next week, like what the hell's going on? Why is Batman lying on a bed and Robin's Batman or some shit like that?
Right.
So I guess if you were going to do Bane and that was the biggest or only story involving him so far for you to adapt, you just had to be like, just kidding, Batman's actually smart enough to stop himself from having his spine broken. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
I think in Nightfall he beats the shit out of him like so hard that there's no way Batman, he's like barely conscious when he breaks his back or whatever. Like he wouldn't have had a chance to like, psych, I've got a batarang in my hand or whatever like he does in this. Also, I thought it was weird that why does he throw a batarang at Bane? And when Bane catches a batarang, I'm like, oh, it's going to like explode or something. Like, he's being tricky. But instead, he just like crushes it in his hand. Then my next thought was, okay, I know Batman's going to cut the string, cut the tube, but I didn't remember how. I'm like, oh, he's going to toss that aside, and then he's going to pick up Batman, and Batman's going to have secretly pick that back up. But I don't know if that's what happened. I think Batman had an extra one in his sleeve or something.
Does he not have extra? Does he only have one?
No, he would, but I feel like that would have been a nice way to do it or whatever. Like, fuck your toys. You throw toys at me, but you underestimated the toy. He actually used it, and maybe that's what happened. But I didn't catch him ever re-picking it up.
Yeah, so, I didn't see that either.
Yeah. What else do you have to say about this episode, Brian?
Keen
effects. the pumping of the red background stuff.
Sweat,
of course. Yeah,
First
Rupert
off,
Thorne had so much sweat. Oh my god,
sweaty Thorne.
Yeah, he was punching the punching bag, and like water is just like blasting off his body.
Yeah. But yeah, I do actually want to talk about that red screen bit, which I'm sure we're gonna get some messages on.
Sure. Yeah.
But that was like at first thought when like the background goes all red and it's just Bane there.
It happens when he's in the Croc sewer also, but you don't see him pump up. You just see him like he pressed the button, and then the background turns red and he goes like, ugh! And then it cuts away to just Croc's like horrified reaction, so that you can see it actually happening later.
Weird. That didn't stand out to me, but this one was just so obvious. Like the camera was he was just dead center of the screen. Everything else was all red. That was crazy.
Yeah. It's a I don't know, uniquely memorable action moment or whatever from this show versus most of it's just like kind of repeated the same. Oh, the guy tried to punch Batman and he ducked and then he pushed him over and over again.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, as we know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I do like I like a good like. Oh, the guy's really like so strong that when Batman punches him in the face, even he just smiles and like, oh, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And maybe this was one of the earliest times that we've seen that, but I feel like it's just happened so much over the years that it didn't really affect me the way that it should have. Of like, I do like the way that they show Bane is so tall. Like it's really well choreographed or whatever. The whole opening couple scenes. Him like getting in the car, getting out of the airplane, he has to duck, and the lady's like, "Oh my goodness, such a tall man!" And then he gets in the car and it sinks to the ground. You can barely ever see his face because it's always out of frame and stuff.
Yeah.
and then Rupert Thorne's office or whatever when he walks in, same thing.
He's like the height of the ceiling.
Yeah, he's like, you're like, Jesus, that man is 14 feet tall. Or something. And so I like the way that they do that of like, okay, like he's gonna be a tough guy. It's gonna be hard to punch him. But I feel like that's just been done so much over the years since then that I wasn't like, oh, how's Batman gonna do it? Oh my God, like I'm supposed to. I'm also not a child anymore. I know he's gonna defeat.
I am.
I know.
Also, that whole like ducking out of the airplane thing, like that honestly didn't register to me.
That, yeah,
like, you must even.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about that on the podcast. You're like, I stood up and my shoulder hit the ceiling.
Yeah, that one plane, that poor stewardess's face. She looked mortified.
It was the same as the lady reacting to Bane.
Yeah. She had the weirdest posture in the whole show. Just that weird, like, my hands are crossed and like surgically attached to my abdomen, and I just bend over a lot. It was weird. What?
You've seen Batman and Robin, right? The movie,
No.
Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Batman and Robin movie. You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Jesus Christ!
I was like, what? 90?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr.
96?
Freeze, 97, I think.
So close.
You haven't seen Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze movie?
No.
So Bane is in that also.
Oh.
But he's like just a like mindless thug. Like he looks pretty similar to in the show here. He's got some more like, I don't know how you describe it, spikes on his leather.
Okay.
But he's like literally like has no brain essentially. Like he's just like a pumped up zombie. So he's like it's just famously like lines where he'll just be like, they'll be like, step on it, Bane, as he's driving the car. Step, and then just press this thing. Or he's like setting bombs around the place in the finale scene, and he's just bomb as he's putting them down.
Why?
I don't know. So in that movie, he's defeated by Robin and Batgirl. They're trying to punch him and nothing's happening. What's going on? And he like picks them up or whatever, and then they use, I'm pretty sure, batarangs to like slice his tubes, and all the juice pours out and he gets real tiny, scrawny man. So it was almost the exact same thing that happens in this.
Oh.
And that we just watched.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the only way writers know how to defeat Bane, because I think there's like 3 other times, not necessarily in this show, but where Bane will just be defeated by like, stop the stuff from going in him. And it just seems like you must be able to. I mean, I can't think of one right now, but I bet if we sat here talking for 5 minutes, we could. I don't know.
But so here's
how would you defeat Bane, Brian?
Well, here let me do
convince him that his childhood was so terrible that he just stops. He just gives up.
So here's my thought, though.
Yeah,
is like pre-Croc fight in the sewer.
Yes.
He punches through the sewer.
Yes.
He hasn't turned on his juice yet.
Yeah. Before he juices. Yeah.
So how the hell is it that, like, once he loses his juice, he's like useless suddenly?
Once you lose the juice, you're useless. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess Batman's plan was first overjuice him, then release the juice. And then he'll be dejuiced so hard.
But like so the first scene when we see him standing full and he's like 14 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's not like actively juiced.
No, he's just strong naturally or whatever. Yeah.
Post juicing.
Yeah.
Like post overjuicing and then no juicing.
Yeah.
He's like shorter than Batman.
Yeah. I don't know.
What the fuck is going on?
Maybe he's at all times mildly juiced. And then he super juices.
But he doesn't have, you see the back, like you see his plug thing.
Yeah, you said his mask nipple or something. Yeah. His head nipple. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's for the juice tube.
Back to your question. How would I defeat him?
Well, first let's finish this thought on the juice.
Okay.
At first I wanted to mention, he does say once as he's being overpumped, he's like, no, the venom, it can't be stopped or whatever. Like it's called venom in canon. The juice is called venom.
No, we're calling it juice.
Juice, yeah.
Useful juice.
Yeah, use juice. And speaking, well, that might be a good Batman's usefulness transition, but I guess he's either slightly juiced all the time and then he overjuiced, or okay. So this was my question.
James can't finish the sentence.
If Batman overjuices him, how much juice does he have in his watch? Because he's got his watch with 2 buttons on it.
Yeah,
and that contains all the juice because the tube's coming right out of the watch into his head nipple, and. The subtitle of the podcast has to be in here somewhere. And and when Batman stabs the watch, juice leaks out of it as if it's all contained. So it's very potent or something. But then so my question is, let me get my head wrapped around this.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to put an end punctuation on.
If the overjuicing, let me concentrate.
Just do it.
If the overjuicing means that there was enough juice in the watch to bulk him up to like an elephant size before he got down into skinny man. Does that mean the juice exits his body in some way, like it deflates when he, like, where is it coming out, first of all? Secondly, does that mean it's like evaporating or something? Because if the juice is in his muscles, it must be being then therefore constantly run through his body to keep him bulky if he turns into skinny boy when he's unjuiced. Does any of what I'm saying add up to the question I'm trying to pose here? Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody understands it. We just need you to stop talking.
Perfect. Me too.
I think it's probably like a hydraulic fluid situation where maybe it's not the amount, but the pressurization of it.
Okay.
Meh.
Huh?
Meh.
Bruce Timm, please write in and answer that. Respond.
But then the whole like puncturing, like it came pouring out of the watch thing should have just made him deflate, not
instantly.
increase.
Yeah. There's not enough. Maybe it's like,
where's the "that's not how that works" button?
It's this one.
That's not how that works.
That's our first post btas theme song. That's not how that works.
Wow.
Because the theme song's different now. Did you want to talk about that? What did you think of the new theme song? It was fine. You weren't angry at it, which I was at least happy about.
Yeah, it was fine.
You were mad at the Bugs Bunny like usual.
I'm happy at least we still get the bonk.
Yeah, I think last time I said like, that was the last bonk, and I forgot how the bonk is actually still, because they still use some clips from the original intro, but just like 5 or something.
Can we talk about that Batman? Like why do they use like in the action clips Batman speaking? And you can't hear it. You just watch his mouth move. You're like, why are we watching this? Why is this a captivating moment?
Yeah. Why'd they choose that? Yeah. It's I think I said like while it was happening, like, this is like 90% Robin's Reckoning clips.
Yeah.
Because I guess they went, we got to make a new intro for the and Robin version of this show.
For the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. Robin's been in like a dozen or more episodes, but we should probably use the one that has his name in it. That's got to have the most Robin.
Hey,
clips.
Harry, what episodes was Robin in? Robin's Reckoning.
This one says
okay,
Robin.
Good. Yeah. We'll use all the footage from that.
Every moment from that episode, pretty much. There's like a Demon's Quest couple and a Shadow of the Bat couple, but most for Robin's
we get
Reckoning.
Batgirl again?
Yes.
Oh, next episode? Not in this batch, but the next batch.
Might be the batch after that.
Okay.
You're not even right about it. No, but yeah. So yeah, one of those clips from Robin's Reckoning is when Robin calls Batman to be like, hey, let me come help you on the Tony Zuko thing. And Batman's like, no, I'm going to do this by myself. You're too close to the situation. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And yeah, he's just in the Batmobile doing his lip flaps, and they just used a clip of that in the intro. Like, you're right. What a captivating moment, Batman going blah, 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 blah in the Batmobile. I really want to watch this show now. That's great. Although it's probably more accurate to what happens in a typical Batman episode.
Yeah, but that's not what you don't show the like every
The rest
day.
of it is them leaping motorcycles and jumping off of cliffs and which again they chose the one shot of Robin jumping the bridge on the motorcycle where there's a big piece of dirt on the moon, and you get to see that every intro now.
I think it's like dirt on the moon.
Dirt on the moon, yeah. It's in every time. Why? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, this is the first episode that aired with that intro. But on the discs, these are not in air date order. So if you're watching this in the DVD order or production order, it'll just cycle back and forth between the two intros.
Oh, no. Ew. Yuck.
Yucky.
Yucky, ew.
I
Don't like it.
Well, would you? Maybe you would, though, because every once in a while it'd be a surprise. Like, oh, we get the BTAS intro again.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'd just be waiting for this sunrise animation theme to pop in there at some point too.
Yeah, it just plays Tank all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Batman. We should do that. I think I talked about editing.
and Robin.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
I think I sent you that. Like, oh, it's the live action Cowboy Bebop. Oh no, that they did redo that for that. Well, there's some video I sent you a while ago where it was a different show edited to be like the Cowboy Bebop intro, and I said like, oh, taking everything within me not to do this with Batman clips. I don't have time because I was in the middle of like Zeta month or something.
You should just do it now.
Like, just do it. Well, yeah.
I also noticed that there hasn't been too many TikTok-y things from our podcast.
There's been the one.
Yeah.
Because I
remember you saying you were going to do one per episode.
I was going to do one per episode.
But I guess
the
if we're
very
not
next
funny.
episode was Sideshow, and the funniest part of that was us describing Killer Croc like slipping on rocks at the waterfall and laughing at that. And then I
was
thought
definitely
like
funny for us.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that's like publicly funny enough, but I don't know. Maybe there's something in here. The juice will be a good.
Well,
the juice rant. Stay tuned for juice rant. What? Batman's usefulness.
Pretty good. Mm-hmm. He did pretty good. Mm-hmm. I give him like a 6 or a 7. Why am I talking like this?
I don't know. Everyone's voice is supposed to be this.
Oh my God, that's right. This is a podcast.
Robin.
Yeah, I give him 6.13 for 6.134.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rubber steel. rubber steels.
Applicable to multiple scenes, yes.
Yep.
I'll give Batman. Oh, damn, that's some.
That sounds like hail.
He was pretty useful.
Yeah.
He defeated Bane. He outsmarted Bane. He saved Robin. He did the thing.
We never talked about how we defeat Bane. But continue with your
rating. You're right. We completely skipped over that. Yeah, I'll give Batman 7.32.
Okay.
I had something a second
I'm going to round
ago.
that down to 6.13.
Okay. Sweaty punching bags.
Oh, yeah.
Real wet punching bags. He should have when Bane punches.
Real wet Rupert's. It wasn't the punching bag that was wet. It was him.
Well, I'm sure he was splashing
Residual.
onto,
Residual
that's what I was
wetness.
When Bane punched residual wetness.
There it is.
There it is. When Bane punched it off the chain, I thought it should have some like spritz come off it, you know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Oh well. So how would you defeat Bane? If Bane was right here, right now. What the fuck would you do?
I'd first run away.
Well, yeah.
Well, actually,
he'd grab your arm or something.
Oh, he grabs
Bane has all of your limbs broken. No, you got to be in the same Batman. Well, I don't know. What are we saying is the like baseline here? Are you just as non-feeble as BTAS Batman in this situation, or are you broken like comic Batman? The rain immediately stopped.
Welcome to Oregon. I'd say to at least start, you're like physically adept.
Okay, but you're just you.
Okay,
I'm me or you.
If I had to defeat him like within this space, I'd probably grab that
all the
glue.
fidget spinners.
I'd grab the fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners. Destruction.
No, I'd grab either that wood glue down there and like try to like get on his back and get it in his eyes or orifice or something.
Yeah.
Or there's actually a very caustic photo developing chemical over there that I would probably it's in that plastic
Could you
bag.
make it over there?
I don't know.
Let's assume you can.
I don't know. Yeah.
Assume everything goes the way you want it to.
That would be a like get him to breathe that in because he would
knock him out or something. Yeah.
It wouldn't knock him out, but it would start to deteriorate the inside of his lungs, I think. If I remember it's because it's like
his lungs kind of.
Yeah, so he would, if he took a breath and that was like vaporized in front of him, he'd. I mean, like he's a mammal, right? Like that would.
I'd kick him in the nuts. I'd kick him in the balls.
I thought you'd throw a rock at him.
Nah, I'd throw a rock at him. I'd throw scaffolding at him.
You could hit him with that tripod. That'd do pretty good.
Whoa, there's like an axe over here.
That's. It's really.
It's made of styrofoam.
Yeah, that's the Tin Man axe that I used on stage.
There's an axe over here. It's made of styrofoam. This will work against Bane.
Yeah, I don't. There's a hatchet around the corner, but I don't have that.
You got guitars you could hit him with.
I wouldn't dare.
Is this books or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Hip hop for sure. I was thinking like we haven't in a while explained. Well, there's no explanation, but we haven't in a while talked about at least the origin of that. But maybe I'm going to leave it alone. Is this going on your top 10?
Yeah.
That's a sarcasm face.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Is it really going on your top 10?
No.
They can't see your face. I'm sorry, Brian. It's not working.
I don't think so. I liked it. I really liked this episode. It didn't impact me as much. But I was captivated.
I do think it's funny how the people making the episode are like, I don't want to do this, and then the episode's like pretty good.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like an I don't want to do this. Like
I mean, it's certainly better than Trial and
and Harlequinade
and Harlequinade, right?
Piece of shit.
Those episodes are awful. Almost as bad as On Leather Wings.
Heart of Ice. No one would ever say that about Heart of Ice.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think we've said all we can say about Bane.
But we can say that it's mail time.
You're right. But before we go to Yoppie Mail, I'll say that we will then come back after Yoppie Mail to give Brian next week's episode title so he can make a plot prediction.
And your song lyrics.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you play us into the future sound effect? Perfect. Boom. Brian, you're 39 now.
That's not true.
You're 89 now.
That's
closer.
Maybe closer to the truth.
Someday you'll be 89.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
At one small extra yacht.
What? Just gonna play the song now.
We drop our weekly yachts.
Oh yeah, those.
Into the comment box. First, there sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all.
At least I am.
Just Dylan Pollock.
I couldn't help but notice we were both drinking water during the shout first.
Yeah. I looked to you. Oh, no, he's drinking. I should have done it. I'm also drinking. Hi. It's the mail.
It's the mail.
It's been 12 days since we recorded the actual episode that we're doing mail for.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. That was Bane. I had to think about it. I just re-listened to it today to make sure that everything else was edited fine, and I already forgot.
Nice.
Do you remember Bane? You remember that episode so long ago?
Yeah, the guy talked weird, and he was live action. It was strange.
That's true. He was wearing like a coat or something and a crab mask over his mouth.
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's me, I'm Bane." That's how he talked. It's me, Mr. Bane. Mr. Bane. Oh, man, we haven't done one of those in a while.
It's true.
A Mr. Bane. That's a running gag for those who have been paying attention. This is, if you want to send us something, want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2, email batwagonpod@gmail.com. You can also leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. This is emails. First, we got one from Vitz. This is Harley, Bane, and the Bat. Harlequinade. I feel like this was a great concept, but just poorly done. Between Batman's sudden anger issues and the weird pauses between cuts, yes, it had really good animation perspectives, then it would cut to a poorly animated space. Like when Batman is getting shot at the casino, the perspective of the machine guns firing are good, but then they cut to Batman, the bullets hit the wall all at once like they have been fired from a shotgun. And why is Batman so surprised the Joker has cameras all over Gotham? Don't you also have cameras everywhere, Batman? This episode doesn't really do it for me. It's fun, and there isn't a whole lot to make it good, in my opinion. Well, looks like someone didn't like Harlequinade. Just go be fucking mad at that guy.
I mean, I think it was like nearly the best episode. That's why I put it on number
I know,
one.
we loved. Yeah, Maddie messaged me like 5 minutes into listening to the podcast, like, you guys keep saying that it's bad, but it doesn't sound any worse of a podcast episode than what it usually sounds like.
God.
But also, you guys are like totally like wrong. Harlequinade is top tier episode. Like, yeah, whatever. Vitz continues, Bane. Winners don't do drugs unless it's venom. Then they use lots of drugs. I like this episode. Best telling of Bane in existence. I love his lucha look and persona rather than the mindless strong guy in the Schumacher film, and way better than Nolan's rendition of Bane. I love the Batman-isms with this episode. The sliding mirror door where he just appears and him gliding out to the boat, casting the bat shadow on the deck. Great stuff. The anime, I don't remember either of those moments, but I believe you that they were there. Do you? Because
of course I don't.
No. Why would I even thank you? The animation for the Venom overload I thought was pretty cool to watch. Borderline horrifying, but kind of comical, like in an Evil Dead kind of way. Okay.
It is. See that. Yeah, it is kind of camp, isn't it?
It's directed by, holy shit. What's his name? His name is Sam.
Yeah, film studies are your thing, my friend. The director, Sam Raimi.
Raimi, god damn it.
I meant to give you the first letter, but then I read it because I wasn't sure how to pronounce it.
Please murder me. These are my thoughts. See you next time, Vitz. See you next time, Vitz. Thank you, Vitz. Carly Barrett, I got answers. Here's how they did Joker's quick change in Harlequin, folks.
Yes,
Harlequinade.
Bring it.
Okay, here's how I would do the Joker's quick change in Harlequinade, which I guess I blinked when that happened because when I heard you guys talking about it, I was like, what the fuck? But then I went back and rewatched it, and yeah, that's a hell of a quick change. So here's what I would do. I would quick rig the Joker's top so the jacket, vest, and shirt and tie are all kind of sewn together to be one piece and kind of make that illusion. So he gets in the plane. There's 2 wardrobe crew members in there. One of them takes off the suit jacket. The other one puts on his pilot top, jacket, shirt, and gloves, which are all sewn together and quick rigged into one piece, which fastens in the back. So he slips that on like a hospital gown. The other wardrobe crew member slips on his goggles. He comes up, does all the chicanery in the plane when his waist is never shown. While that happens, they put on his pants and boots. And then when the plane crashes into the house, there's a wardrobe member in there waiting to put the parachute on. He stumbles out of the house, fully dressed as a pilot, and ejects the parachute, and boom, you got yourself a quick change. Thank you very much.
That is genius, actually. We did a lot of quick changes like that with at the theater. I don't know if you know it.
Oh, were you in theater?
Yeah, I was in theater, yeah. But yeah, you do like a back seam and you make it Velcro, and that just makes all the difference in the world.
I was expecting there's just a guy standing behind the cockpit just waiting to pull the breakaway clothes off. Yeah. And then maybe that's where that third henchman is. And the 2 are crawling out. He was
now
stuck
we
in
know.
There. Yeah. Jordan Newman, GCN Musical Minute.
Welcome to GCN, Gotham City News with Jack Ryder. Tonight's top story, apparently someone put Killer Croc in traction. I'm sure it wasn't Batman, but frankly, nothing would shock me in this city at this point. The police won't tell me anything. When we return, could Scarecrow's fear toxin be making its way into haunted houses this Halloween? An entrepreneur with a zany idea joining us after the break.
This sounds different.
Now over to the music. I love the very heavy dramatic strings when Batman finds security footage of Bane's creation. Also, some very noir music when Batman shows up in the apartment of that lady whose name escapes me. Lots of cool moments in here.
That was weird that he sounded so different. He sounded different last time. He sounded different this time.
Yeah, I've noticed that as a thing.
Totally joking about that. Like, there's no explanation in the email. Why does it sound different? It's like, ooh, this is a multiverse. No, everyone's different. There's so many different universes.
It did with the... Like the Rick and Morty thing, like I feel like everyone is doing multiverse these days. Like that's kind of like Is that what he's doing?
Who does his content on the multiverse?
Yeah, James.
Only dumbasses. Only people who want to.
Ouch. I mean, well, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if it's a multiverse.
We don't know.
We'll have to wait and find out.
This is from Pedro Enrique. Thoughts on Bane? Hello, James and Brian.
Hello.
I got better from the cold last week, but no voice messages for a bit. That's good that you're gooder. Got a lot of work to do the next few weeks, finishing a semester and helping a friend organize a play. Oh, he's in theater.
Theater? He's in theater.
It's easier to write. Fun fact, I was trying to look up Bane's origins to figure out if he's from Spain or Latin America, and I saw a DC Comics blog with the question, Bane, is he Latino or white? And I thought, you can be white and Latino. We literally are the most diverse bunch of people on Earth. Anyways, these are my thoughts on the episode Bane. Out of all the cool things Batman could have said as he was leaving Killer Croc, his genius mind really landed on later Gator. It feels like something Dick would have suggested to him.
Agreed.
Yeah. Candace seems to get really horny around violence. First when we see Harvey Dent beating up all of Rupert's guys in the Two-Face two-parter, and now with Bane. Yeah, that's Michael Jackson for you. Why is Robin working on the Batmobile? Didn't we establish some episodes ago that Bruce has a personal mechanic? This completely breaks the continuity with Earl the Animated Series. I wonder what Scar Louie 1 thinks.
Oh, it's more of that multiverse stuff.
Yeah. For 1 second after Batman found Robin's outfit, I thought they were going to cut to Robin naked, and I did not want to see Dick's dick. Was Robin as confused as I was when Candace actually jumped in the pool to get him? I couldn't tell if he was flirting with her or actually going to fight her.
Same.
So Batman just drops the bombshell that Candace was going to cheat on Rupert and have him killed, and then he just leaves? Dude, that's one of Gotham's most dangerous mobsters. That woman is going to die. Shame on you, Batman. Should have been at least a two-parter. Bane feels underdeveloped for me. From the times I've seen it, I feel like the storyline of Bane breaking the Batman just works better in long form. I don't know if it should have been 2 parts. I think it was plenty. It was over. This is from Scarlowy 1, Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I wonder who it could be.
Hello, listener, and welcome to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm your host, Scarlowy 1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 2, Episode 5 of The Adventures of Earl and Robin, the man who broke the Batmobile. The Batmobile came into the garage in a frightful state. When Batman and Robin got out of the Batmobile, Earl asked them, "What happened this time?" Batman answered, "We were driving down the street and a piano landed on us." Robin added, "I think that piano mover did it on purpose." "It doesn't matter. It won't take long to fix," replied Earl. As Batman and Robin were leaving the garage, Robin asked Batman, "Whatever happened to Earl's daughter?" "I have no idea," replied Batman. The end. This is the episode that taught me to never trust a piano mover. Anyway, see you next time. Same pee-pee time, same poo-poo channel.
What is going on?
I don't know, man. This is some crazy zany shit right here. Did you notice that our recording sounded a lot different when we redid the Harlequinade episode? Like when I listened back to it, it was like didn't sound like our voices. Like I pitched it weird or something. I don't know. Sometimes when the MP3 uploads to Anchor, it's like it gets like scrunched a little bit and the pitch gets all wonky. I don't know how to explain it.
Honestly, I haven't listened to it, so.
Oh, well, of course you have.
I'm sorry.
Dino-faced individual. I'm just going to steamroll you as usual. Bane Hench Reviews. In response to Jimp July's response to my last Hench Reviews, the word I used is, whinging. Yeah, I was corrected by like 3 other people about this. Complaining, but especially annoying. This has been another useless fact. Comment submitted by Jake. I don't know his voice. So I got fired and my severance package was a concussion. So yeah, I'll probably rate Rupert Thorne as 0. I would hire someone who won't get Batman's pro wrestling moves spammed at him next time out of 5. On the upside, I already got a new job. Some new guy in town named Boss Pollock. Oh no! Get out of there, Jake. If your name is Jake, you got some stuff to deal with in your life. This is a Zeta month reference.
I caught that.
This one comes from it just says Bane. Hi Pearl Jam and Brother Bane. I missed a few weeks, but I'm back now.
Welcome back.
I live in Istanbul, which has a population of 15 million people. So when they say 10 million people, my reaction isn't something more than, it is a quite big city. I enjoy Bane, unlike Bruce Timm. I can understand where he's coming from. I hate 90s mainstream comics too, but Nightfall is one of the standouts of that era for me. Surprisingly, episode is pretty good with good voice acting and great animation, except the scene at the start where Batman and Robin look smaller than the safe Killer Croc dropped. That's not how perspective works. So Bane trashed the Batmobile, right? Where is Earl? So we did think about it all. Thank you.
Kerem Mazman.
Exclamation mark. Tip Tapricot. Impressions on Bane. Is that what we're changing it to now? What a great episode, probably. I love that part where Bane breaks through the wall, solid boob smash move, 10 out of 10. Was it his chest? It is now. Bane just has a chest in general, one of the most. One of the most chests. Love that Batman. Batman's fought an actual supernatural crypt spirit goddess thing, but Bane's green juice was more of a match. Maybe it was the same sucky juice from the sucky pit doing a reverse suck on his muscles, and that's why he's so strong. More seriously, Bane is one of my favorite villains, both for aesthetic and character. However, I didn't have time to watch the episode this week. Oh my god. Due to creative projects and finally getting a job. Seasonal, but Yahoo!
Oh my.
Yahoo? That's pretty cool. I bet that's a neat startup.
Wow.
You're gonna overwrite Google any day. And don't remember my first watch very well, so this has been Impressions, the fizzy water to contemplation soda. I may continue selling this now and then if I have to make further runs to pick up shipments from the Yoppie Court Concessions warehouse. We'll have a brain again next week, and until then, stay cotty, sent from my iPhone. Thank you. Last email comes from Keen Machine. It's called Hey Diddle Diddle. Greetings, Yoppie dudes. It's time for a riddle. I hope you are ready. Just keep your eyes keen and your minds ever steady. As we soon approach the Riddler's reform, I'll offer more puzzles that should keep your brains warm. And so it begins. Your very first clue. This will pair quite nicely with clue number 2. Until next week, keep it keen. And there's like some sort of like a list of words, like a missing pieces of sentences.
Oh.
So I guess we have to start putting it together.
Time to watch Gravity Falls again.
Yeah. Cypher, that is the word I was trying to think of. Thank you. Let's go to voice messages on Anchor, which is now Spotify for podcasters. It's different now.
Wait,
they
what?
just now changed it to Spotify for podcasters, which is way easier to say than Anchor.
Oh, God.
Scotty Cameron, The Adventures of Batman and Robin Rises.
Greetings, Yoppie dudes.
It's Bane.
It is I, Bane.
Yeah?
As you can see, when I meet you at the door, I like to dress nicely.
What?
Can't get a contract poorly dressed.
Huh?
And Croc can't rob a warehouse poorly dressed.
What?
You see us buff guys, we think alike. That's why it was so easy to break Croc.
Huh?
Also, Earl Cooper has his work cut out for him, since
Yeah.
I Hulk smashed that Batmobile.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, I don't get a chance to do my iconic thing of break the bat.
Nope.
You just get to see my iconic pose.
What?
Oh, and Robin. How useless are you? Can we do a Robin's usefulness for the adventures of Batman and Robin?
Oh.
Stay Yoppie, definitely not Dylan talking like Bane.
That is my favorite Scotty Cameron running gag. I'm definitely not Dylan Pollock doing a blah, blah, blah impression. Yeah. This last one's from Dylan Pollock.
Hey, it's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on Bane, or Candace is playing both sides, so she always comes out on top. Do you think he took off the mask and gave a real name to the TSA? Bane's a villain, but surely he cares about flight safety, right?
Oh.
Bane says, "Who do you value most, Batman?" And I just picture Batman saying, "Oh no, you got Alfred, Catwoman, Zatanna, Talia, Commissioner Gordon. Who is it? Give me a hint." I just keep picturing the video game version of the Batman Bane fight too, where every 5 seconds you hear Lauren Lester's Robin yelling, "Batman, help! Water's rising over here." And last thing that I noticed, rather than bring Thorne in on a conspiracy to commit murder charge, Batman instead just plays the recording for Rupert so he can then murder Candace for sure, because that's definitely what he did.
Yeah.
Time for the question of the week, James' favorite part. If you were to become Batman and name yourself after your own fear to strike fear into the criminals of Gotham, what would your hero name be? I guess I'd end up as Spider-Man. Great episode last week.
Spider-Man is good, yeah. The video was accidentally set to public man. Before I did put it on unlisted.
I mean, I'm scared of heights.
But you're so tall.
Yeah.
How could you?
I don't know. And fear of heights, man, would be weird. Like I need like an
object.
Oh
no, here he comes.
I need an object I'm afraid of. What's like a noun that I'm afraid of?
Pee pee poo poo man.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, excrement man.
Oh, no. Excrement man. Yeah,
that would be pretty. Like, oh god, I hope he doesn't show up.
Mayonnaise man.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do comments on the most recent episode, Harlequinade redo. People also, I think, heard us differently than usual.
What do you mean different? With the
like our voices came off weird.
Is it that obvious?
Well, Scrudge says Kimmy sounded kind of different this episode. Charles Moto Sierra, you might think you have me fooled, but I'm aware of your true identities, Joe and Maddie. And then, Ashley touched him, was like, guys, I don't know whether you've bought new equipment or did some vocal exercises, but man, you sound so much better this week. Okay. If this is how the podcast will sound going forward, I think it's safe for me to finally tell you I've always hated your voices up until now. It'll be nice to have to not fight the urge to jump in front of a truck every time I listen to a new episode from now on. Okay. Well, I'll take that to heart.
So that was like actually, is it, I'll go listen to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you take your time. And Bikeanon says it's definitely taking their top 10 spot of Bat-Wagon episodes. So that's cool.
So it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah, there's a little back and forth. Okay. Well, let's go to the first version of Harlequinade, Fake Hand Fist Wrist, on the Podtower YouTube channel. Ashley Touch and I listened to this podcast episode on the same day I read the latest Adventures Continue comic, which featured Batman teaming up with Harley. Coincidence? I think so. Given that there's also a certain movie with a similar premise that Batman won't see for another 40 years, obviously someone thinks that Batman and Harley team up is comedy gold.
Batman won't see for another 40 years?
Yeah, when you're...
Batman?
I give up. No, you, Brian.
I think you said...
Did I say Batman? Well,
am I Batman?
Excrement man won't see this for another 40 years.
I prefer mayonnaise man.
Scrudge, now that we've moved on to the updated Adventures of Batman and Robin intro, has anyone else ever stopped and thought about what was going on in the original BTAS intro? Like, so you've got these two shady dudes sneaking away from a building, which is helpfully labeled Bonk. When the bonk explodes and they run away, did they blow up the bank? Why would they do that if they had already carried out the robbery? It seems like they're just drawing unnecessary attention to the crime they've already committed. Then after we cut to them on the run, where we can observe two things. One, they're not actually carrying any loot or anything in their hands. And two, these guys are running on foot from a cop car that's tailing them from like 20 feet away. Their only plan of escape is to climb to the roof of this completely isolated building and then... Question mark. Like, even if Batman wasn't there, they had no real means of escape. So I've got two theories. First theory, these guys aren't actually robbers. They're just arsonists, and the fact that their target building is a bank is just happenstance. Or second theory, the two guys haven't robbed the bank yet. The explosives were meant to open up a vault inside the building, but they miscalculated the size of the explosion and accidentally created a fire too big for them to actually get inside and retrieve the money. Either way, these guys are totally incompetent. That's true. Old King Cole, ding, ding, ding. Good evening, all you Dylan Pollock sock puppets.
Hi, that's me.
Welcome to the GCWE, and have a hell of a show for you tonight. In this corner, standing at a staggering 6'8" and weighing 350 pounds, the loco luchador and batbreaker himself, Bane. And in this corner, standing at 6'2" and weighing at 210 pounds, the Dark Knight of Gotham and our reigning champion, Batman. Who will win this clash of titans and be crowned the victor? Find out on the GCWE.
Okay, how tall is Batman?
That's actually correct.
6'2"?
Yeah.
And 100 and...
I remember his weight, but that sounds fine, right-ish enough.
210 at 6'2"?
It's all the muscles.
That's not that...
No, actually, that's about me.
Yeah.
It's nothing special. Yeah. Well, let me really quick. There is an episode a long time from now where like a guy on TV is like comparing Batman's stats like for betting purposes to someone else, and you do see his height and weight. Yeah. 6'3", 240 pounds. And then he makes a joke about like, too many bat donuts I see or something like that. So I guess that makes more sense to me.
That sounds pretty accurate because like my dad was 6'3", and I think like around like 2 to 210, and he was pretty buff, dude.
Yeah, okay.
He was a big boy, but like Bruce would. Yeah,
mine's all in the gut. Your gut got removed, so you're doing okay now.
My gut?
Yeah, my gut got surgically taken out.
No, got surgically shoved back in.
Oh yeah, now there should be more weight in there, the mesh or whatever.
Same weight, different location.
They took the mesh out of my brain and put it in my gut. I needed that, but that's okay.
Oh, I guess if you were talking about the mesh, I did gain weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Charles Motosierra. Regarding Harlequinade, the 5 bureaus of New York City together have about 8 million
Boroughs?
people total. Did I say bureaus?
You did.
Did I say Batman?
Yes, you did.
So I don't think it's much of a stretch to say Gotham has 10 million if you count the downtown area and the suburbs. Also, as someone who likes most episodes of this show, I must say all opinions are valid, even if disliking On Leather Wings is objectively wrong. Wrong. Thank you. All jokes aside, although I like liking things, I will admit that talking trash about things you don't like makes for very good entertainment. That's what we're here for. So on that note, I fucking hate the new opening for the show. Listening to Shirley Walker's theme is always great, but I can't bear to look at the reused clips, knowing the masterpiece that was this opening's predecessor. So I guess I better keep my eyes closed and just listen to the music going forward.
That's a good move.
Yeah. As soon as you see Bugs Bunny pop up, Brian, you just close your eyes.
I'd like to close my eyes before that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm hitting play. Let me know where the episode is starting, when the title card hits. As for the rest of Bane, pretty action-packed and fun episode. Lots of keen effects. The character has a very good design in this show, and taking down Croc is a good build-up. Also, I don't mind Robin's increased presence, but it is weird that he and Batman are now working together all the time with no explanation. Maybe Robin's skipping classes or something. Lastly, when was the last time an episode was books? I think it was kind of recently.
I think we did one in our last
in the batch.
Yeah.
Ian Thompson, I messed up, you guys. Ice cream has the power to turn into any ice cream and ice cream related toppings. Soft serve indeed is the one that poops ice cream.
Oh.
I don't know why there are 2 Z-tier ice cream related X-Men characters, but if they solely set out to confuse and embarrass me, mission accomplished. You are doing God's work. I'm fond of Harlequinade, but I'm one of the mythical few who caught it when it first aired when I was 11 and had like 30 years to ruminate on it. When I see modern interpretations of Harley now, this and the other btas Harley highlight episode is the Harley ideal I measure them against. Bane is another episode that seemed more promising than it actually turned out to be, but it taught me the word Gilgamesh and had some really gnarly keen effects of Bane losing tube goo and hulking on and off that rivals, but does not surpass, the body horror awesomeness of Clayface Part 2, Feet of Clay. Yeah. Honestly think it did a better job of highlighting the character of Candace more than it did of Bane, which is a problem for an episode named Bane. I'd watch That's Our Candace, though. Serum Lake, I just want you to know that when you said that this episode was fun, if you ignored all the bad stuff, my cat turned the TV off and left the room. I had no idea he was such a big fan of Harley Quinn.
Wow.
Yeah. Kate-tastic. I have no rocks to swallow today. So many things have happened in my life since this podcast began. I started hormones, got my first job. I wonder what will happen next. Many bad things from us. Also, I would be curious to know if you think the episode that you watched would be enjoyable to someone with little to no DCAU experience. That's what Brian's finding out.
Yeah.
I guess maybe there's like, they're asking like first time, like this is the first episode. That would be an interesting thing to think about each time. Like if this was your first DCAU episode, would you think it's, I'll keep watching this, or would you not?
It depends on what episode it is.
Exactly.
Like if it was On Leather Wings, you might want to give up and not make a podcast.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Lanola Cola, to think this episode won't be the last time Harley and Bats team up. And I can't wait for the episode Bane. I really enjoyed how he isn't just hired muscle to take out Batman, collaborating with Carmen Michael San Diego Jackson, or Thorne's secretary. I like how that joke persevered before they could hear this episode, too. To take over his crime empire and luring Batman to challenge him in a custody for the Boy Wonder match on a boat. And as a wrestling fan, I really got a kick out of Batman busting out Hurricane Ranas against Bane. I'm sorry, I don't know things.
I'm trying to think about what that could possibly be.
I don't know. It's probably a move, a wrestling move.
Well, yeah, but with your pronunciation.
Yeah, it's Hurricane Ranas. Wednesday 209, I am Comment Bot. I here to say that you two humans are amazing and funny. I was programmed with a sense of humor, so I know what funny is. Ha, 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 ha. That was my human laugh. I hope you like it. Anyways, see you two humans next Friday. Goodbye, Comment Bot deactivated.
Bye, Comment Bot. You're the best.
Last first is Carmen Macchino. Harlequinade. Fun episode. Nothing all that special outside of it. Some funny moments, that creepy laughing face at the beginning, and one of the guest voices being legendary cult character actor Dick Miller, who we've seen already as Chucky Saul in Mask of the Phantasm, but I know him best as being in almost every Joe Dante movie, most notably as Mr. Futterman in the Gremlins movies. Overall, pretty good Harley-centric episode, but I wouldn't say it's the best of them. That one, of course, will come much later in this collective rewatch. And then, of course, there's Bane. If the discussion of this episode doesn't include multiple impressions of Tom Hardy's popular version of the title character, then we truly failed as a community. I think there's 2 people have done that. I really like this one. It's a good introduction to the diabolical doper, Henry Silva. What a great name. Henry
Can
Silva
we change that to his name?
Yeah, that's what we'll call him from now on. Juice Boy. Where are you going? You're leaving me.
I'm leaving you. I'm sorry. I had one of those. You ever get like knots in your back that start to give you a headache?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
Like every day. That's cool. Henry Silva brings a lot of weighty bravado to his voice performance as Bane. While he's obviously not as memorable as Hardy's Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, he's still better than the Jeb Swenson Bane from Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin. Monkey work. I don't remember that line, but I believe it was there. And of course, Bane was the first episode under the revamped title of Adventures of Batman and Robin. While I like the incorporation of Shirley Walker's Batman theme, the opening sequence was a bunch of clips with Bruce, Man, and Dick just doesn't hold a candle to the iconic intro sequence we've come to know and love for over 65-plus episodes. Something tells me Bri won't be happy with the change.
Something tells me you're right.
Something. But anyway,
I also
like
love when
always,
people call me Bri.
Bri. Jam isn't quite as endearing, but Boss Biggest Bear Hug's #1 podcast host of this year Multiverse of R. Oh, there is a multiverse. Jam, sandwich, and bag of beans.
Okay, there's.
It makes sense.
This is becoming a thing.
Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock. Love your podcast, dude. Keep up the great work. Keep telling Gab that she rules. Likewise, of course, to all his loyal disciples. There's so many people. I'm just going to say James and Brian. And of course, all the Awesome Sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours, you're all the absolute best. Never, ever forget that.
Okay.
By the time Jiminy Cricket reads this out loud, yours truly will be on spring break, a time when one gets absolutely turnt AF. So you can expect yours truly to be spending this debaucherous time renovating his bedroom and writing video essays. Awooga. Till next week, Smoke Bomb. All right. Thank you, everyone. That was the mail.
Be sure to keep well hydrated when doing those video essays.
Could I say that whiter?
You could try, but it'd be real hard.
Awooga.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Thank you. Yeah. Back to the past we go. Woo, awooga. And now back from the future? Oh. That's the same note.
It's kind of a cool tone. Except you can't pull it away from the...
Yeah, you have to keep it touching the microphone. All right. So, if you want to... Oh, what do I say here? I've switched it around so much lately. I'll mention if you want to hear more discussion about this episode, you should check out the DCAU review or Timm Talk podcasts or both.
And
also available on the Podtower YouTube channel, just like this podcast. Next week's episode, Brian, it's called Second Chance.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
I'm getting good at this when it's obvious.
What's happening?
He's going to try to reclaim his life as Harvey.
Yes. I'm going to keep asking questions so you get something wrong. How? How will he do that?
With his wits. Yep, with his mind.
All right.
Are we going to make out now?
What we're going to do right now is I'm going to sing the Batman song. I need to put the thing.
We should have tea after this.
We should, yes. Okay, let's give this a shot here. Logo. But it's a blimp, though. Gotham City Bank. Holy shit! Oh my god, what the fuck? Hey, there he goes. Turn on the engine and then we can drive away. Hey, it's the Batmobile. Bad guys are running away from the police and they got away. Yeah, there they go. You can't see his face. Oh shit! Jumping right into the frame and then he punched that guy and he fell on the ground and here come the police. He's on a building now. You knew that part. I was filling in the blanks. There we go.
Jamie, that's so good.
Thank you.
Wow, everybody, I want you to play that back and remember that, and every time you hear the original theme song, I want you to sing this.
I know, I want you to sing it. I'll give some embarrassing history or whatever to this. So I had some sort of swimming lessons or something as a kid in 5th grade or whenever I made this up. And so my mom would take me to the swimming lesson at the pool in town. And she would just sit around, in the, I don't know, guest area or whatever.
Okay.
And at the time she was a newspaper, she would do movie reviews for the newspaper. So she would just be writing on her clunky 90s laptop in the aquatic center, and I would be having my swimming lesson. And I can't remember if it was before or we were waiting on the swimming instructor to show up and he was taking forever, or if it was afterward and I was just waiting on her. But I was sitting around just coming up with the lyrics to this by thinking of them.
Okay, that's normally how people write things.
Once I was just pacing around, a small boy pacing around the pool, singing the Batman theme song as words for a good hour or so until I had the whole thing.
Oh no.
And I came up to her and sang it to her, and she was so distracted working on her stuff that she just did not care. And it's just burned into my head as yeah, whatever kind of attitude about it, cool, I'm doing something where I'd spent all this time oh, I've got the perfect thing. And I remember being really
passionate.
Yeah. Personally
Persevering.
gratifying about the what part is it? He punched that guy and he fell on the ground and here come the police. I spent forever figuring out the syllables for that and everything. So that moment has stayed with me as a parent of react lovingly to everything your child does, because something will stick with him for the rest of his life. And I'm not saying that as a oh, my mom, piece of shit, I don't like her. I love my mom, she's great, but that moment kind of sucked, you know? So I hope that I don't have, if Aaron comes up to me and he's here are all the lyrics to the Cars themes, the Cars music, I made up lyrics, that's fucking cool, dude. Good job. Well, I'm sure that I will still have a moment like that, and there's no way to stop it.
I mean, we all accidentally create our own traumas for our kids. Right?
That's true. We all have daddy issues. You can't stop it from happening, and I'm the daddy now. That's what they
Oh,
say.
there's a subtitle for the episode.
Bane, or we all have daddy issues. You can't stop it from happening, and I'm the daddy now. So I think that's too long for the YouTube title. Anyway, thanks for being here, Brian. I love you.
Thanks for what? Oh,
we've reached that level of our relationship.
Wow.
I think.
Wow,
71 episodes. Of the podcast. You must watch 71 Batman episodes before I profess my love.
Wow, that's
thank
cool.
you to
I'm glad
Kimmy.
to make it.
Thank you. I'm doing something now.
You're talking to Kimmy.
Thank you to Kimmy, Cooney, Phoenix, Vildsu, and whoever else I guess, for our musical themes.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to the Podtower YouTube channel for new DCAU podcasts every week, and leave us a like over there on today's episode to help spread us around the interwebs. And please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You may hear your review read on the show.
Which is completely different to us reading everybody else's
American accent. That was, I think that guy legitimately is Hispanic in some way, but
I hope so.
Why did he sound bad?
I don't know. Maybe because he's got an American accent.
I guess he's just trying to.
How about this? We need to bribe people. If you leave a 5-star review on something, leave the review and then maybe end it with a character from any media ever, and James will read your review in the voice of that
character.
Yeah, see,
any character, especially one from a show that I haven't seen.
Well, we know that we can Google. We'll do the Google thing.
I'll brush up on my whatever beforehand. I'll know ahead of time.
Yeah.
New episodes of this podcast are released every Friday on the Podtower, every single Friday. We never mess it up, as well as your favorite podcast feed and watchtowerdatabase.com. So we'll see you next week for Second Chance, yeah?
We'll hear you next week for Second Chance.
We'll
is what
hear
you meant to say.
you,
yeah,
the listener.
We'll listen you.
That's why you're called the listener, because we listen to you.
Huh.
Bane. That's why he's called Bane. It all makes sense.
What?
I have no idea.
We should stop this.
Yeah,
now.
Okay.
Bye.
Is this the best you can throw at me, Rupert? Go on, Candace. Take his mask. Thought you might like to hear this, Rupert. It's a new release. Maybe we'll call it Better Luck Next Time.
With Batman out of the way, Gotham could be yours. So could I.
And what about your employer?
Well, accidents do happen.
Candace?
Hello, Big Boss! So stupid. You got that knot out? Oh, God! You got that knot out?
Nope. That's going to be
right,
a bit.
Cool.